How long do you think council meeting's gonna take?
At least an hour.
Okay, good evening, everyone. It is now 5 PM, June the 2nd, 2025, and it's time to call the Board of Public Works and Safety meeting to order. Ms. Jones, roll call, please.
Mayor Barnett,
Present.
Mr. Austin.
Present.
Ms. Joe,
Present.
Mayor Cover.
Thank you. Please stand for the pledge. Okay, good evening. I want to thank everyone for coming tonight. And is there any announcements or public comment that does not pertain to the agenda? Joanna, I think you had something?
Marissa, are you representing Eric and Dennis? No, Marissa. Oh, no. For the Bollard?
For the bollard?
Yeah, no.
The
Okay.
Veterans Alley?
Okay,
So Dennis Drake came by the office earlier today, and he is working on the facade of 42 East Jefferson Street. In the process of taking off the covering, the bricks are coming out with that covering. There's a lighted bollard at the very north end. His equipment cannot maneuver around that, so he was wanting to ask the board's approval if they could disconnect that to get that moved in order to get the equipment. And he has spoken to Jerry Yarnell regarding that, since Jerry was the one that installed it.
okay, so I've spoke with Brett there a little bit about, I mean, if he's going to pay Jerry to do it, that's fine too.
Yeah.
But we were going to check and see if our own folks can remove that and put it back. So Brett, I'm okay with that if you
Yeah.
guys check it out and make sure you can
Yep.
do that.
We'll check it out in the morning and coordinate with Dennis or Jerry or both.
Okay, 'cause the building looks pretty bad if you've seen the pictures.
Right.
Yeah, they need to get started.
I happened to see Dennis shaking his head as he's walking down the alley as I was walking down back from the courthouse, so. But who will be responsible for the cost associated with removal, if there is one?
I think it's just, I honestly think they just unbolt. I'll have to look, but, and then if Jerry's going to be there, we can just have him disconnect it from electrical standpoint, but I assume that'll then go to the project as a whole, but.
Yep, so we'll, whenever we find out, if we do it in-house, we're not going to charge anything, but if we have a
Yep.
contractor, then we'll try to get reimbursed from the from Dennis or Eric. So, all right, so I would make a motion to approve moving the Ballard for the construction.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, anybody else with any announcements or public comment? Hearing none, we'll go to the consent agenda.
Move to approve the consent agenda for the meeting minutes of May 19th Board of Works meeting and also the approval of claims.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
There isn't any old business. Go into new business. Request permission to advertise Westler plant expansion. Gary Rustin.
Thank you. Good evening. The wastewater treatment plant expansion design is complete. Plans and specifications are ready. All necessary permits have been obtained, and I'm here tonight to request authorization to proceed with advertising for bids. The schedule was included. The current schedule is the one in the right-hand column. That would include authorization tonight. Advertising June 6th, which is Friday. Receive bids July 15th here in this room, likely at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and then to present them to the board at the following meeting on July 21st. Is there any questions?
So it looks like if everything goes through the way it's structured here in the document that everyone's looking at, it looks like that you'd begin construction October 2025?
Correct.
Thank you.
The moment we've been waiting for.
Yeah.
Been a long time coming.
Yeah.
So, Mayor, have you already gone through the bond process, or is that the July through October?
That'd be July through October, and this will give us a better feeling of what it would be.
How much it would be? Okay.
And if it goes over what we're figuring, there's other ways to get the funds to do it.
Okay.
Yeah, but we feel pretty comfortable. We're trying to bond for this project plus the West Side Interceptor. The West Side Interceptor is what we're thinking we may have to go to maybe to the RDC or something to help with that. But I'm thinking the bond's gonna cover this pretty comfortably. This
Hopefully,
part,
yes.
Yeah.
We have done some preliminary approvals that council required.
You have?
Yeah, there have been some things in the newspaper publishing, allowing us to move forward and those kind
Okay.
of things. But we haven't gotten any firm rates or anything of that nature in terms of a bond rate, but we've
I knew the
secured bond
process
counsel.
was longer than
Yes.
a few months.
Yeah, we've had the bond, we've already retained bond counsel, we've had our financial planner look at it, we've gotten two resolutions approved by the council. I can't tell you the dates to keep it moving, so,
That's fine.
yeah.
Okay, thank you.
If there's not any more questions, I would move to request permission to advertise the wastewater treatment plant expansion project.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, Gary.
Thank you very much.
Okay, item number 2, request approval to place trailer on east sidewalk of 90 East Jefferson Street, 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. from June 3rd to June 10th to protect sidewalk from damage. Fred Paris.
Fred Paris here on that item. Yeah, we're just, ended up having to do some additional demo inside the old stage and stuff inside the, old Jeff Street Lounge. And if we pull our trailer out on the street side, it blocks the whole street because of the way that sidewalk goes out. So it's not a heavy trailer. And we just pull up there in the morning, fill it up and get it out of there. So rather than get in trouble with your police force, it's always on the prowl. I'll come and ask for approval first.
Well, Mayor, I appreciate you doing that, so thanks for coming to the board.
I'll move to approve placement of the trailer on the east sidewalk of 90 East Jefferson Street from 8 to 3 from June 3rd to June 10th.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Fred.
Thanks, Fred.
Okay, next item, request waiver of building permit fee, $382.60, and sewer connection permit fee, $2,674 for the construction of a new single-family home on property on Young Street, Habitat for Humanity, Lee Wilburn.
Good
The
afternoon.
light in your eye is a tactic.
Is that what
Yeah,
it is?
that's what we
Because it's
do,
like
yeah.
blinding me, like, whoa. Good afternoon. I'm Leanne Wilbur. I'm the Executive Director for Habitat for Humanity. And I have a handout. Can I give it to you guys? Oh,
Here are our voting people.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
So we are thrilled that we are going to be building again in Franklin in the fall of this year. It's going to be our 26th house, and I threw together some stats just so you guys would have those, that out of our 25 houses that we have already built, 11 of them are here in Franklin. If you recall, our first house in 2006, when we became affiliate, was in Franklin. Our first women build, the Pink Splash on West Adams, was in Franklin. And our first house for a disabled person was in Franklin. So we have a wonderful working relationship with the city of Franklin, and we truly appreciate it. The house that we're going to build on Young Street, it is for a single mom. She has 2 teenage kids, and she is actually an employee of the Franklin Community School Corporation. She actually drives a bus for you guys, so that's kind of cool. So anyway, what we're asking for is a waiver on the permits to build that home, to help us out on that. So you guys have always been very generous doing that in the past, so.
So Leanne, let me just say that I'm okay with this, and here's the reason why, and we talked about this at our department head meeting today, that there was a house there at one time, we believe, so we're in that lot. Whenever I grew up, there was terrorizing the neighborhood on my bicycle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there was a
Sorry,
there
I
was a
missed
house.
that.
This is recorded. don't you?
Yeah, I'm okay with that. Hey, what it is what it is. That's right.
You're right, it's run, you're
Yeah.
right.
So I'm okay with it on this one. Are you going to build a second one on that same property?
Well, what we're hoping, we just got the house plans back. We're working with Andrew at Barkasee. And we are hoping to apply for a variance because that lot is extremely deep to actually put a second house on the back part of it. And it will come out on Ott Street back there. So that is our hopes that we can do that.
Well, my thinking is that I don't think that lot's big enough for two, but that's you guys. And I know, talking to planning, that that's some of the lot sizes there. And the way the second one enters in the back is going to be causing havoc for the other people. So I'm not sure I'm happy with that one, but I do appreciate Habitat wanting to do something here in Franklin. And I'm okay with this one just because of the fact there was a house there at one time that was already hooked up to it. And another reason that I have heartburn is because we're trying to build a sewer plant, and we have sewer rates that everybody in this building is paying for, that's part of it. And some of our income comes off of these fees, but this is for a great cause, and I understand it. That's my opinion, so I'll leave it up to you two.
Big fan of Habitat, so they've done great work over the last few years here, so
Absolutely.
That they have.
I will move to approve the waiver of the building permit fee of $382.60 and the sewer connection permit fee of $2,674.
Thank you. I would second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, Leanne.
Thank you so much. We truly appreciate your partnership.
Well, keep up the good work. Okay, next item, request permission to use two parking spaces for construction of 42 East Jefferson Street, directly in front of the building. Marissa Salve.
We actually have a couple different requests on this. The parking spots are so that we can park our tool trailers. I don't know if you guys drive down that road in the morning. It's almost impossible for us to get those trailers in and out. So we have a couple different trades. Dennis Drake's working with us, and we have mechanical contractors. So we're asking if we could use two parking spots in the front. And Dennis is going to be putting, I think, a bigger lift down Veterans Alley. And we also are doing the dumpster project. So we're kind of doing all of that, and we're going to try to do it all in conjunction. So what our plan would be is if we can take the dumpster enclosure out and use the back of the alley to put an actual dumpster, Indy roll-offs, or our small dump trailer, we can get them back there. And then in the front, if we could park our tool trailers there for the remainder of the job, that would be a lot easier. Not that we don't love FPD, but they are tough downtown Franklin, so they got us a couple times, so we're trying to get ahead of it. So.
Hey, Marissa, this is recorded. I was told that a while ago. So
Love FPD,
that's
the
fair.
camera.
We're-
Great job, chief, they're doing their job.
Downtown Officer Brown does not play.
No, he doesn't.
You
Well,
done blare it.
Marissa, thank you for coming.
Yeah.
I don't have an issue with this, and I'm sure the board doesn't either, wanting to get that building fixed, but we do need you to come and ask whenever we do this, so everybody's on the same page.
Marissa, do you know how long it will be about?
Oh, it may be 60 to 90 days. I will keep in mind that if there's a festival downtown, we'll make sure and remove everything. I will keep up with that schedule. So if there's anything happening, we will get everything out of there.
I
But
say the 4th of July is not too far away. It's
Yeah.
about 30 days. And the
yeah, we'll
fair
make sure
play,
nothing's
parade.
there. But Veterans Alley, when Dennis puts his bigger equipment, it's going to take up the whole alley. And is it Festival Country or whoever's doing the monuments down? Yeah, we've already been talking to Dana about it. So we're trying to get Dennis in and out, get the roofs on, it's going to be a lot, so.
I'm just worried about the parades. The 4th of July and the fair.
That's the two big ones that are coming
Yeah,
up.
we'll definitely get our stuff out of there, but is the alley also going to be a problem at that time?
We don't use the alley for the parades.
It'll be fine.
Okay.
Should be fine.
But it's heavily trafficked, right? I mean, that alley's used every day by multiple people,
It is.
hundreds of people.
And there's significant brickwork that Dennis is doing.
Oh,
and
yes, it is.
It's a lot.
It's
So,
about ready to fall off.
Yes.
Some
and
of
then
it
the
already
roof
has.
is going to be a whole nother situation. So,
It's bad.
yeah.
It's real bad.
I'm good with the 2 parking spaces. Somebody wants to make a motion?
I'll
Make-
move to approve the use of 2 parking spaces for construction of 42 East Jefferson Street as presented.
Second.
And I believe Marissa also had a request regarding the alleyway, the dumpster, to remove the dumpster and place a dumpster there.
Yeah. And of course, I'll put plywood underneath it. Don't worry about that.
Is that also part of your motion?
That is part of my motion. Thank you, Lynn.
You're welcome. Is that part of your second, sir?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Approval of indemnifying agreement with the county in conjunction with the city's West Side Sewer Interceptor Project. City Attorney, Lynn
Well,
Gray.
thank you, Mayor. In the spirit of continued cooperation amongst entities, we have, as you know, the West Side Sewer project that is going on, and we've secured all of the right-of-ways that are necessary. But part of the project is going to require us to do some digging and drilling in county right-of-way and under their roads. Just as we do, they require, typically, if you're going to work in the right-of-way or do anything with the roads, they require a bond to be secured, which obviously costs money. So I reached out to the county attorney and asked if they would consider entering into an agreement with us, much the way they do with some of the utility companies, that in lieu of us posting a bond to make sure that everything gets repaired appropriately, if we simply had an indemnification agreement, that if there is a problem, we would take care of it with our contractor at that time. They were willing to do so, and the county, through its Board of Commissioners, approved the indemnifying agreement. The only requirement then is we do not have to get a bond. We simply give them a certificate of insurance that they know that we have insurance to cover this type of work. I did reach out to our insurance company, and we have gotten that certificate of insurance that's been approved by the county as well. So it's ready for your action tonight.
Okay.
Move to approve the indemnifying agreement with the county in conjunction with the city's West Side Sewer Interceptor.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, next item. Request approval to move forward with selling, transferring seized, abandoned, and forfeited guns to Keisler Firearms Supply Company. City Attorney Lynn Gray and Police Chief Kirby Cochran.
Thank you. Chief, you want me to run with it, and then you can add where I miss anything. If the Board of Works will probably recall, about a year ago, or maybe a little longer than that, you approved Standard Operating Procedure 1.16.1. This was in conjunction with our working on cleaning out our evidence room and the items that we had in our evidence locker. SOP 1.16.1 permitted the police department to, when they have abandoned or forfeited firearms and other types of material, to go ahead and use those in exchange for credits on us purchasing weapons that we use. So I think the SOP that you approved already allows them to do so. But frankly, to protect our department and more importantly, our evidence technician, I think it's good to have a record of what guns that we use to trade in. And these are guns, the source of which generally are through court order. When someone is charged with a crime such as person in possession of a handgun, they're not entitled to be in charge. Persons with a prior conviction, the court, as part of its order, when they sentence the defendant, will then authorize forfeiture of the gun to the police department that was involved in the prosecution. So we secure quite a few of those over a period of time. Chief reached out to me and said, what do you think about going ahead and trading them in at that point? And we thought that makes perfect sense, since they're just sitting there and can't be used, shouldn't be used. And we have title to them pursuant to court orders. But again, to protect our department and to protect our evidence technician, getting your approval of the identity of those, I think, is probably in our best interest, to make sure nobody can claim that a gun went missing from the evidence locker, or from our evidence room that we have. So that is the long-winded explanation of what we're asking your authority to go ahead and trade it in. They've already secured the approval or the estimate from Keesler, and they are a registered firearms dealer, which the statute allows us to use when we do trade-ins. So, did I miss anything, Chief?
No, the only piece of it is we chose Keesler's in the beginning in the original forfeiture or original deal because that's who we purchase our weapons from now. Just makes for an easier transition when you're asking somebody for credit. And that's who everybody in the state buys this particular weapon from, so we've always bought from them. That's why we're using them.
Yeah, and they are authorized. So you can't just give it to anybody, you have to go through an authorized dealer under the statute.
Right, and just in case somebody's wondering, Chief, I know we've talked about this several times. Whenever we get a gun somehow, some way, or in what circumstance, it's usually taken somewhere and it's been tested to make sure the gun hasn't been used in a crime somewhere else.
Yeah, most of these guns are, if not all of them, with the exceptions of ones that are turned over voluntarily or sent through the Indiana Crime Gun Task Force, just to make sure they're not weapons used in previous crimes in different cities throughout the state.
And I don't know that we've had any, but there has been.
We have not.
But there's been other communities and other mayors I've talked to that have found guns that was used in a murder or something somewhere else, so that's why we started doing that. But anyway, just wanted to get that out there, that it's safe, and we know there's safe guns to.
And it's really been a nice cooperation with the courts and the prosecutor's office, too, because as standard, when anybody enters a guilty plea, they're almost routinely requested to forfeit the weapon that they've had in possession, even if it's not a firearm violation, if they've had one. So we've got court orders on every one of these weapons where they've said, take them, so.
Kirby, can you tell me, is that approximately 1 year worth of a
Yeah,
haul
some
or
of those-
two?
Some of those have been in there for
Long
10,
time.
15 years.
Oh, wow.
A long time.
They can-
This all came about when we started trying to figure out how to dispose of them, and the mayor and I talked about this crime gun task force, and it just kind of just spun from there, but
'Cause
that's
we've-
kind of how it worked.
I noticed over the years, we've had a lot of weapons, right? A
Oh, yeah,
cachet
so-
of weapons.
Yeah, several hundred
Right.
in there.
Do you know what the total is? I didn't count them, but it looks like about
$1,225 worth, 72 guns.
72. Okay. I didn't count them individually, but
About the same amount last time.
okay. I thought it was close.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you.
I'll move to approve moving forward with selling / transferring seized, abandoned, and forfeited guns to Keesler's Firearms Supply Company.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, next item, approval and acceptance of public right-of-way for Earlywood Drive, Cub Academy. Planning Director, Joanna Tennell.
Yeah, with the development of the Franklin Cub Academy on Earlywood Drive, there is a need for installation of a passing blister, which requires additional right-of-way be obtained on the south side. They have went through the process and negotiated with T. Thompson Properties and also James Fletcher on having those right-of-ways dedicated to the city, and the documents are ready for the board's consideration and action.
When do I need to abstain?
You don't, because you don't have any vested financial interest in it. If you do wish to, you can, but there's no legal requirement that you do, because you don't have any vested financial interest or direct beneficial interest in the approval of this request.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, any questions, Ken?
I don't have any. I'll approve and accept the public right-of-way for Earlywood Drive for the Cub Academy as presented.
Okay, and I will second. So we have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, let the record show that Tina did vote. Okay. And the reason the question was, I think most people in this room knows Tina works for the school corporation, so that's why she asked the question. Okay, next item, request approval and execution of supplemental number 1 with Crossroad Engineers, PC, for the Graham Road Improvements Project. Planning Director Joanna Tennell.
The original contract with Crossroad Engineers for the design and inspection of Graham Road from Earlywood Drive to Paul Hand Boulevard was a total of $741,685. The attached supplemental agreement will increase the contract by $261,380 with a maximum payable under this contract not to exceed oh my gosh. $1,003,065. Sorry, my eyes were going wonky. The supplemental agreement covers design and inspection of the new bridge and also updates the right-of-way acquisition due to anticipated land costs, types, and appraisals. The supplemental amount will be funded by the RDC and was approved at their May 20th meeting. The addition of the bridge to the scope of work was a result of the 2024 County Bridge Inspection Report indicating the need for a replacement due to deterioration, high traffic, and substandard geometry. It was determined the best course of action would be to replace the bridge and reconstruct the roadway at the same time.
So maybe the engineer can, well, the engineer's not here, huh?
I just read the engineer's
So
statement.
normally, I mean, so when we get that bid, it's, $760-something thousand, but the over $250,000 is something they couldn't see?
Well, Kenny, I can explain that one.
Expanded the project.
Yeah, at first, they wasn't going to replace the bridge.
Right.
But to do Graham Road the right way and the bridge is.
Needed to be done.
It needed to be done, so, and it needs to be wider too, as we widen the road out.
Recognize
So
that,
that's why it was added later after we went through more discussions on, okay, we're doing all this. We need to get the bridge and that'll be completed project
I
at
see.
that point. So.
Thank you.
Yeah, we talked with Crossroads and they recommended that we do that. Now, at that point, we were in charge of the bridges, which we still are now until January 1. And And I think that this one here, the county, since we're requesting, we're going to try to partner with them in this, but we may be paying for this bridge here, is what we're thinking.
Thank you.
But you raise a great question. Under a typical construction contract, we couldn't do this because we would be increasing more than 20%. But you remember, this is a professional services contract, so we don't have the bid limitations that we can. We can go ahead and just add the additional professional services because it's essentially an expansion of the previous project that we had.
True.
And the supplemental is an increase of $261,380.
Right.
And that is to design the bridge alone, and then the rest of their contract is to do the rest of it. So, yeah.
Love to get a bridge for $200,000, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, any other questions?
Joanna, at the risk of putting you on the spot, is the $1 million, do you know what percentage that is of the estimated project cost?
The whole project, all in, is about $6 million, counting the bridge cost. Now, you're talking about what's the bridge cost, right? Or you just
No, I
talking
was
about
saying total, like,
Total for the whole project, all in with right-of-way and the bridge, widening the road, it's about $6 million project.
okay.
And we've been planning
Big
this for
project.
several years, and the funds will come out of the redevelopment commission and some of the edit funds that we have, and the stormwater funds for part of the bridge.
So the design fees are less than 20%, so,
Yes.
yeah, that's what I was looking for.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. I will make a motion to approve and execute supplemental 1 with Crossroads Engineers PC for the Graham Road Improvements Project.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Next item, request approval of change order 16 for the Active Adult Center project. Planning Director Joanna Tennell, and I know Kenny will like this one.
So under the original contract, there was an allowance for $22,000 for the emergency response system. That has been determined that it's not needed. Therefore, we are requesting approval of the change order for a negative $22,000, which is a decrease of 0.44%, and will take the total cost to $4,943,172.79. And request that the mayor sign on behalf of the board.
And thanks, Chip, for
Said you'd like
determining
that
it wasn't necessary. It's a good way to save some money. Good.
Yeah, so don't be confused. It still has electronic monitoring on it, and we still get calls. The fire department still gets direct calls, and a fire or the sprinkler system goes off. We just thought this was above and beyond what we needed over there.
Good call.
Kenny, I'm going to let you have this one.
Sure. I'll request the approval, make a motion to request the approval of change order 16 for the Active Adult Center project as presented, and also the mayor to sign on our behalf.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, next item, execution of drainage easement, quiet claim deed, and sales disclosure form related to the Redwood Apartment Project. Planning Director Joanna Tennell.
Yes, so with the Redwood Apartments project, which is at the northwest corner of Upper Shelbyville Road and Eastview Drive, the city owns a triangular piece of ground that essentially is right at the corner and goes to the creek. With the development and surveying work for the Redwood Apartments, it became apparent that there is a deed overlap between property within their legal title and the legal description in title of the city of Franklin. Since they will be proceeding with development, it made more sense to just quit claim all of the city's interest from that overlap, and it then becomes 100% Redwood Apartments property. So we do have the quitclaim deed that includes a sales disclosure form that we're requesting execution and on behalf, execution by the mayor on behalf of the board. In addition, with the development of Redwood, part of their drainage system outlets to that creek, and there's going to be a two-stage ditch that will be constructed. Part of that construction is actually going to be on our property. So we are also requesting approval of a drainage easement to give them the rights and maintenance of that improvement. That also is on behalf of the board by the mayor.
Joanna, just real quick, a question to clarify. DNR had to improve all their drainage stuff, right?
Yes,
And the Johnson County Drainage Board,
yes.
and they've already been through the process?
Yep, they have approval from DNR for construction in a floodway, and they have all of their approvals from Johnson County Drainage Board and are finalizing all approvals with us.
And goodness, Joanna, we saw this at, was it BZA or Plan Commission, what, 9 months ago? I mean, a long time ago, right? When they-
We started in '23.
Okay. That's longer than I thought. That's why I'm only in my 40s. That's how I do math. Yeah. So, don't laugh, Brad. But it really, this cleans up a lot of that little area. When we started looking into the plannings and stuff like this is property that when we started looking into, we don't do anything with. I'm not really sure how it got orphaned, for lack of a better word. So it really does clean up the whole entire project and then puts, I mean, if we own it, we need the responsibility to take care of it. We really don't want that under this circumstance. And this is a developer, if I recall, they maintain and they keep their developments. They don't turn around and sell them. So now was a good time for us to take care of this and clean it up.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to execute the drainage easement, quitclaim deed, and sales disclosure form related to the Redwood Apartment Project.
I will second. So we have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Since we were talking about age, today's Brett's birthday, just so I
Do we sing?
As my
if
gift
you
to him, I won't.
Okay, next item. Acceptance and execution of the following documents related to Kingsbridge, Section 3, sanitary sewer service special agreements, earthwork and paving inspection service agreements, and storm and sanitary sewer inspection service agreements. Planning Director Joanna Tennell.
Yep, as the mayor indicated, these agreements are ready for the board's consideration and action. We are in receipt of the 90% payment that's required for the inspection and service agreements, and all members of the board sign.
I'll move to approve and execute the following documents related to Kingsbridge Section 3 sanitary sewer service special agreements, earthwork and paving inspection service agreements, and storm and sanitary sewer inspection service agreements.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, next item, request a mural to be painted on the generator outside of City Hall. Franklin Mayor's Youth Leadership Council, Taylor McHenry.
Hello. Okay, so, thank you, Mayor. I am Taylor McHenry. I'm a junior at the high school, and I'm part of the Mayor's Youth Council. And so since January, I've been working with Dana for this mural idea that we had. So if you guys walked in from the right into City Hall, there's this big generator that was just placed up against the wall. And so the mayor was talking about how he would like that to be a little bit more decorated, a little bit more snazzy up in front of a government building. And so I've been kind of in charge of designing that design, I guess, and those kinds of things. And so I asked the other people in the council what they think of when they think of Franklin, and then I kind of created like little boxes of those things. So we have some people that said like the art craft, some people said like the strawberries for the Strawberry Festival that we have, fireworks, those kinds of things. And then we also get to paint a little side panel. So that one looks like a postage stamp with like a grizzly bear on it. That's all fancy with his monocle and everything. So yeah, that's kind of the design that we've created. And so we're hoping to get this done by the end of the summer, because it'll be really hard to do this once school starts. And then, yeah.
Okay, Taylor, you've also been working with the Arts Council and
Yes, and this
And-
already was approved by the Public Art Advisory Committee, and I've also been working alongside Chrissy Robertson,
right, yep.
apologize. And she's been helping me kind of get the design together, so we've got the paint picked out and those sort of things, so I just need a couple, I think it's just this and then we're done.
And one of the reasons you worked with them also on the paint, because they were telling you, I was there at that meeting, you done a great job there presenting as well.
Thank you.
They were telling you about the kind of paint you need to use so it wouldn't fade and all that good stuff, so.
Yep.
Who will be painting it?
Me, and then if anybody else wants to help me. But as far as I know, I'll be the one kind of getting this across, but.
And I think the Arts Council said they was gonna help you get it laid out and.
Oh, yeah, Chrissy's gonna let me use her projector to like trace the design on initially, and then it's kind of like a color by number from there on out.
I bet I could screw it up.
Are we not allowed to paint over the Cummins logo?
I didn't ask, I assumed not, so that's why I've left it blank. So,
I think you can paint over that.
Put another big piece of pizza over there.
didn't pay us
That'll
anything
even.
for it. That's
Right,
for sure.
exactly.
Ask them for a sponsorship.
For a donation.
Yeah.
Right, there was no donation, so yeah,
Upcoming junior
We were
or
Columbus, I
upcoming
could say.
senior?
upcoming
Yeah.
junior,
but we're not.
yeah.
Very well done.
Exactly.
And I will say that Taylor was here last meeting, and we didn't have it on the agenda, so I apologize for that.
No,
too.
all good, I don't mind being here,
See,
No.
now she's a junior and she was a sophomore.
Yeah,
There
see,
you go.
that's true.
There you go.
we just wanted you to be at more meetings, that's what it was all about, yeah,
I come to as many as I can.
okay. All right,
I will move to approve the painting of the mural on the generator outside of City Hall.
Second.
we have a motion and a second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you for coming. Okay, under other business, request to file liens on unkept property, and I will make a motion to approve as presented.
Second.
Motion and a second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you. Department reports, Chip, we'll start with you, since we know you've had a bad, rocky start to the pool.
Yeah. The pool is, I've done this 35 years. It's the worst start I can ever remember. I did say at the department head meeting, and I've updated numbers. Thank you to the people that bought pool passes on faith, because it did get warm. We have sold a record number of pool passes, believe it or not, based on the weather. And I think we just passed 68,000 in pool passes. And today was the very first day that we had more than 100 people there. I think we had 1,000 people there today. So
Catching up.
better weather tomorrow.
It's trending in the right
It's
direction.
trending in the right direction, so, and the water's warm now, so that helps. The first concert of the season is Saturday. There's also a big car show, so it's the Cruise In is also Saturday. The band is the Soul Juice Band, hailing from Las Vegas, Nevada. So they're not local. I assume they do soul music. I don't know, be honest with you. So who knows? And the weather looks like it's going to cooperate, so that's good. Last thing I have is give you an Active Adult Center update. Tomorrow, Joanna, I, and Curtis are going to do the final walkthrough of the building to create a punch list. We have a huge semi showing up in Franklin tomorrow. It has all the furniture. So that's all happening tomorrow. I shouldn't say this publicly, but don't write this down, anybody. Of course, you're going to watch it on video. It looks like July 1st is the hopefully target date we're looking at for the ribbon cutting. And then it'll actually officially open to the members that day as well. So that gives us about 4 weeks to wrap it all up and get it all pretty and ready to go. So if you haven't been over, I'd be more than happy to give you a tour. I think I'm giving 3 this week I can think of, and 1 on Saturday. So feel free to let me know, and I'd be more than happy to take you over there. In your eyes, it's done. So it's about as done as it's going to get. So that's all I have.
Thank you. Chief
I have
Cochran.
nothing tonight.
Okay, Chief Snyder.
I just wanted to go on record to let the public know that there is an active multi-function, multi-agency event going on tomorrow in Franklin at the middle school. So if you see a lot of fire trucks, police vehicles, it's just a practice drill.
Intermediate school, right?
Custer Baker.
Custer Baker.
Custer Baker, excuse me. Custer Baker, not the middle school. Custer Baker. So.
Okay, thank you, Chief. Sherry?
I don't tonight, thank you.
Dana?
Yeah, so the farmer's market opened Saturday. It was a huge event. We had a lot of people out. I think it's going to go really, really well. We were pretty excited about that. I did not get to report out this morning, but Luann Leitz has started painting some of our boxes. So we have some of our electrical boxes that are already starting for the year, so we'll have 3 new ones for this year. And then the FDC did receive an offer on our house on Overstreet, so we're working through that. We'll see how that goes.
Thank you. Brett?
Thank you for the birthday wishes. I appreciate that. I was texting with Jerry and Dennis while sitting here. Sorry, Lynn, I know we're not supposed to do that. I think we'll just have Jerry and Dennis. If you guys are fine with me reporting to Dennis that it was approved, I think we'll just let those two coordinate it. There is some conduit and stuff that will need to be covered correctly. The anchor bolts are in concrete and cannot be removed, so unless you tell me otherwise, I don't really want to get in the middle of it. I'd rather just give them the permission to handle it accordingly. Miss Marissa, will you coordinate this as well? And just make sure that, I'm confident those two do enough work together and for us that it'll be done properly, but,
That's what I was concerned about, cost. 'Cause
Yeah.
When I walked by there, I thought,
yeah. I don't think it'll be a big deal. We just need to make sure that I'll have Jason monitor it, but we just need to make sure that it's coned properly, because obviously the bolts will still be there, and then I'll make sure that Jerry gets the conduit handled correctly.
Dennis just texted me and told me that he rented a different piece of equipment and.
Oh, so this is all for naught?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, wow. Disregard all comments. Other than it's still my birthday, so thank you.
yeah. We make the meeting go long enough, the thing will be fixed.
Yeah.
All right, anything else?
No, sir, sorry, thank you.
Okay, Joanna?
Just for public knowledge, Hurricane Road in front of Winterfield, which will be north of Legends Golf Course to just south of Earlywood, will be closed for 14 days roughly for the reconstruction. Those signs are all posted, so just,
So when they get this part done, it looks like to me that the city's portion of Hurricane Road is going to be all that we can do, because the rest of it belongs to the county.
correct.
Okay. And then on my list wish list that I have, I always have a thing there, work on Hurricane Road with the county, because that is the county's. The rest of it, after this is done, will be on them, so.
And then just to be aware, we are working with Four Star and trying to get them to be able to do the passing blister on the east side of Hurricane Road at the same time, but there may be some utility poles that are still in the way, and it might be delayed on getting that done, so that would be at a future date, but that closure, it would just be lane modification and no full closure at that time.
Okay, and it's Duke Energy poles, I'm assuming.
Duke has moved their poles. These are poles that still have communications.
Oh, imagine that. Okay. All right, well, I'm glad to hear Duke's got their part going. So,
Yep.
I will, has nothing to do with this project, but Duke started on the Paul Hand Road, moving their poles today too, by the way, so. Okay.
And I guess I'm just going to report again, we do have another announcement of retirement. Julie Spate, who's been with us for 10 years, she has put in her resignation, or her retirement, effective June 27th. So we will be putting out for advertisement for a new admin assistant, and she will be greatly missed.
Okay, thank you. Sally?
A couple of things. We had a crane there today pulling one of the aerators from the equalization basin. And the good news about that is the aerator part is under warranty. We have to pay to pull it. It was one of the aerators we had replaced after the EPA came through. And then we tomorrow have another company coming in to straighten out an arm that broke during the winter, during the ice, an arm on a clarifier. So we'll have some more big equipment in there tomorrow.
Okay,
That's about it. Everything's running well.
thank you. Jan, do you have anything?
I do not, thank you.
Tara? Tina?
No, thank you.
Ken?
I have nothing, Mayor. Thank you.
Lynn?
No, sir.
I have nothing as well. Thank you. Everybody does a great job, and it's appreciated. Thank you.
Motion to adjourn.
Second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Thank Kenny.
Oh, Kenny, you need to.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.